G'day, it's Mark here. Welcome back to the channel. Had a request from a subscriber. You know who you are, Lance. To give an update on the AU Fairmont Wagon, the AU2 V8 Wagon. Hasn't really been an update because the car's been sitting around quite a bit. But Lance prompted me to start it up and at least get the car running because it hasn't been run for months. Literally, it's been sitting around. So I thought I'd just do a quick little video on the AU2 V8 Fairmont Wagon. So I've had this car for quite a few years now, and there's a few videos on the channel, so if you haven't checked those out, there's an overview video, and then I did one when I went to pick up the ransom crawlers, the little tracked vehicles that I got off my mate Ivan, which we towed them back with the trailer. And then I did a road trip to Sydney, where I had some mechanical issues. The BCM decided to die. So that was a bit of a drama, but you can check that out. There's part 1 and part 2 on that. But look, apart from the BCM issue, the car's been really good. It's been really reliable. Like I said, it's been sitting here for months. Haven't really started it, and just turned the key, bang, she cranked over, so that's good. It's the 5-litre 302 cubic inch V8. I think these engines were made in Mexico. Someone could probably confirm that, but I'm pretty sure they were. And fitted to the Falcons in Australia from EB, basically, 1992. But this is a 2000, and I think it's the 2001 AU2 V8 Fairmont Wagon. It's in a nice sort of a, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a light sort of khaki colour. Sure someone knows the name, the official name, but it's like a nice, very serviceable colour, sort of a greeny, I guess, light gold sort of khaki colour. I really like it, and yeah, it's very serviceable, like I say. There's a few things I want to still do on this car. These panels here, they corrode. So I've actually got quite a few of these off wrecks. So if you do have an AU and you want to preserve it, go to the wrecking yard, and these just unclip. You just carefully put a screwdriver there and unclip them. And so I've got those to replace. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I've also, the wreck is a good place to go just to pick up some bits and pieces for your car. So another thing I want to do, I've got this steering wheel's kind of worn. So I've got a new steering wheel for it. I've also got some grab handles here because these are worn as well. So I've got some really nice grab handles. And even though they didn't come, they weren't available, I've actually got some chrome door handles off the Fairlane, the metal ones. I'm going to put those in the car as well. Just think it would be a nice way to finish it off properly. These crack here as well. So I've got another surround for the lights. Carpet, it's not too bad. Looks like it's had a little bit of water at some stage. So look, I probably need to attend to that. Normally it has a mat in there, but I've taken that out. I need to sort of chase down where it might be leaking water through maybe the cowl out here. Yeah, water could be getting in. I don't know if it's through the screen or even through these cowls. So I might even take that out. Could be clogged up with leaves and debris, and you might get some corrosion there. So that's another thing you've got to look out for. Just one other thing on the AUs, if you're interested in buying an AU. This part of the car here, it's very hard to see, but if you look in around here inside, they can rust. So you can sort of, if you're going to buy an AU, just check, I guess, where the door hinges are, below the door hinges, to see if there's any corrosion there, because they do rust in there. It's not the end of the world because you can remove the door or the front guard and attend to it, but it's just something to keep an eye out in case you haven't really noticed. Some of them do rust in there. Another thing I've done is, haven't fitted them, but I've also bought some nice Fairmont seats in really good condition. I did this with my AU1 police car, my Forte, and yeah, just to make sure that, well, these seats are actually really good. One thing you do, there's a piece here that tends to get gathered up. You can kind of there's a piece of plastic that you can actually tie like a coat hanger to, or some wire, and tighten it up from underneath the seat when you take the seat out, and that kind of pulls this material flat. That's just something that I've done on my police car. But again, you know, you can buy these seats for, you know, $100 or something at the wrecking yard, and you can still find the odd AU which with a really nice interior. So if you have got one, it's definitely worth buying a wreck, so you've got, you know, either change your seats over or just have it as a spare. It's a fair bit of let's call it crap in here at the moment. These are actually inserts off a van that I got off my mate Alex, and I thought they'd be really good as like a parts tray if you're rebuilding a carburetor or something like that, or some other part. You can lay all the parts out. It's metal, so or if you needed something to potentially wash some parts in, just in a shallow sort of surface, this would be quite good. So I've kept those for that reason. There's also this, it's been sitting in the back here for ages. This is a platform off the Ransom crawlers. Got another spare Fairmont wheel in there for, again, you know, get the parts while you can, while they're cheap. Another thing I need to do is get some little Ford logos for the center caps for these wheels. I've looked at the wreckers, and they don't seem to really be around. The middle part of the wheel seems to often be gone, so I just need to get another badge to replace that. That's what it should look like. I did get an extra wheel, but as I said, no center cap for that when I bought it. But I love this car. It's really cool. The Wagon is so practical. It's nice to drive. The ride is really good, even though it's got leaf springs at the back. With the longer wheelbase, I think it's the same as the Fairlane. It rides really well. In fact, it rides better than my Fairlane with the leaf springs versus the IRS on the Fairlane. There's that rare option there that I'm not sure how many of these they build, probably 120 or something like that. Very low numbers. These headlights can also get a bit cloudy, but you know, some cutting compound can fix that generally fairly easily. And if they're kept out of the weather, you know, they should last. Again, if you're at the wrecking yard though, and you see some really nice headlights, you know, just buy them, because one thing I have noticed is there used to be a lot of AUs in the wrecking yard, but now those numbers are starting to be reduced pretty significantly now. And I think that, you know, the number on the road that you see daily drives has sort of reduced quite a bit. There's still a few around, but not to the numbers that used to be. And so wrecking yards are probably just crushing them now rather than keeping them. So they've been replaced with BAs and BFs and those sorts of Falcons. Let's just take the car for a little bit of a drive. As I said, it hasn't been driven for a long time, for quite a few months. So yeah, it's just good to give it a bit of a run. Like I said, it's a really nice car to drive. We've had a lot of rain lately, but it's actually quite sunny at the moment and warm. It's meant to be summer, but the weather's been a bit weird. It's been more like winter weather. Yeah, so like I say, I've had this car for quite a few years. You know, I really enjoy it. I like to drive it. It's been really versatile, really useful. I've used it to carry a whole heap of different things. Like I said before, tow those Ransom crawlers of mine. Yeah, just, you know, pack the back of it full of things. You go to a swap meet or something like that, you got plenty of room for storage. And it's just been a really, really great car. So, you know, if you like AUs, and I mean, I must admit, I thought they were a bit unusual at the time when they were launched. Bit of a sort of amalgam of a Falcon and a Taurus or something like that, and they did meet with quite a bit of resistance in the market. And then obviously Ford released the BA, BF, or the BA to replace it, which was more conventional looking. So that definitely affected sales. But interestingly enough, AUs have really come into their own. They've become now quite sought after, quite collectible. Now some people might laugh at that, but it's actually true. I mean, any V8 Falcon or Fairmont or Fairlane, you know, they're worth money now because of the end of Australian manufacturing. But I think also just the styling of the AU has sort of come into its own today more so than when it was launched. It's probably a bit ahead of its time, I guess, particularly when you look at the styling of other vehicles that are on the road. But a lot of young guys particularly like the AUs now. But as I said, the car's really nice and smooth, really nice to drive. Those rattles you can hear are stuff in the back of the car. It's not the car itself, it doesn't rattle. And yeah, I just love it. I think it's a really terrific car. And like I said, I don't plan on selling it. I like keeping, I've got the AU Fairlane, the AU police car, and then this Wagon as well. And I plan on hanging on to them all, because they're not making any Australian cars anymore, and you can't buy an Australian-made V8 of any description, but you know, V8 Ford in particular. So yeah, I'll be hanging on to them. I really should drive this car more often than I do. I tend to, I've got the Mazda 6, which is just the hack, and I jump into that because, you know, the girls get in the back of it with their dirty feet and they put their feet on the seats and all this sort of stuff, and I don't really care about that car. It's just transport. But I should drive these cars more often because, yeah, they're just really cool to drive. They ride really well. I love the V8, and I should make a point of doing that. So I think, Lance, you've inspired me. So there you go. Anyway, that's just a quick video on the AU2 Fairmont V8 Wagon, especially for you, Lance. But please give the episode a thumbs up, and let me know if you'd like to see more videos on the Australian cars. I generally have more American cars in my collection, but yeah, let me know if you want to see more of the Australian stuff. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.